Welcome back, everyone. I'm coming at you live from the sunny shores of Ark Mobile, as you can see, once again. Now, today, what are we doing? Now, what I'm going to be doing today is doing a test on this range here of, really, I want to compare the different types of turrets, especially the Eerie turret compared to the regular auto turret, as well as the Plant X, but mainly the auto turret and the Eerie turret. I want to see what the difference is exactly in damage it does, as well as distance and range. So here's why the question arises. The auto turret itself in your inventory says, the last sentence there, this iridescent power comes at a slight cost in power and range. So what is the cost in power and range? Also in the Ark Wiki it says the difference is that it has infinite ammo, shorter range, and does less damage. So what is the shorter range? How much shorter and how much less damage? So as you can see here, I have a little test site set up for our first few tests. And I have these foundations going about 30 foundations out in a straight line, level. Painted them so it's easy to see how far. So first thing we're going to be doing is testing turret distance. Now as you can see also, if I turn this one on, I have these all lined up straight right here, so we'll count right from here. This will be our first foundation. We'll see how far they shoot, and we're going to also see how high they shoot. As you can see, we have the world's tallest ladder right here. And so yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. I also have the Plant X species as well. So let's get right into it. So the first thing I went about to test was some of the turrets. Now here I'm showing you how I tested them. Now I basically just took an alternate account with a player and put on some really good flak and just simply would inch up until I would hit exactly where I was getting hit by the turret and just back up till I just very missed it. Then I mark it with a sign. Now I also did this in third person, as you can see here, just to see if there was any difference between third person or first person. So, you know, maybe that made a difference a little bit in range, but it actually did not. Third person, first person were the exact same. No difference in the range of the turrets. But this is how I did my testing, as you can see, with a player moving it inch by inch. And here's a side view of, as you see, I'm inching forward till I get hit and just step back. And then I will go mark that exact spot with a sign. I did it very methodical and slow to get an exact measurement so there can be no question as to the distance of the turrets. Now I also did the same thing with the Plant X, as you can see here, forwards till I was getting hit, slowly inch back till I determined exactly how far it shoots, right exactly, and then I would mark that once again with a sign so we know. Okay, so I'm not gonna make you watch through all the testing, all of it, because it did take quite a while, but basically, I'm just going to point out a few things here. I marked everything out here. So, and watch a little further after this. A little further, I'm going to put on the screen a list of all the actual ranges so you can see them all. And pause the video if you need to see the actual ranges of the three types of turrets. I'm going to put that up in a minute. But I want to point out first of all that this side, well, this left side, is all the Eerie turret ranges. Now, as you see, here's the Eerie turret range on high. It shoots 16 foundations, which is okay, but if you'll notice, now this is the X-Plant. X-Plant, I thought that was interesting. X-Plant shoots further, shoots 17 foundations on high, shoots further than the Eerie turrets. But now 1, 2, 3, 4.5, a full 4.5 foundations further, the regular auto turrets shoot. So that's over 20 foundations, 20.5 foundations. So that's a lot different. I was surprised. I really didn't think they'd be that much different. Okay, now here is the exact measurements. If you need to pause it, you can take a look at that. Now the next thing I was going to determine to see if height made any difference in turret ranges. Now the way I decided to test this out was I figured a ladder, if I went every other ladder, wood and metal, it'd be easy to count the ladders, and as you know, one ladder is the exact same height as one wall, so I would be able to count how many ladders high it can shoot and That would be how many walls. So in a way, you could say how many walls, that'd be how many walls high it would shoot. So I put this ladder here up to there. I figured that was 45, and then to the very top was actually 75 ladders high. So that'd be equivalent of 75 walls high, and you can't go that high with walls, not near that high. But to my surprise, as you can see, turrets, I knew they shoot straight up, but so they shoot straight up. This turret on low, excuse me, not low. On low will not reach the top. 75, as you can see, the player is at the very top of 75 ladders. So that'd be equivalent of 75 walls high, which was crazy high. That's way farther than the 20 foundations or whatever that it shot on a straight line. And it can shoot that high. On high and on medium, it reaches the top. Both turrets, Eerie turrets, auto turrets, and the X-plants on medium and high can reach 75 ladders high. So that's crazy. I don't know how that's possible. I thought maybe it was just a glitch or something, so I moved the turret out here to try it, and yes, the exact same thing happened from here. I thought maybe if it was, moved, it would be a little different. But no, it still hits the exact same. So I'm not sure if they shoot a lot higher straight up or what. That might require some more testing to get an exact measurement on that. But as you can see, you can't even see the player up there hardly. But yes, 75 ladders high, 75 walls high, and turrets and X-plants on medium and high can hit the top of that, a player up there. So that's crazy. So I didn't get around to test that any further, but I might do that at some future point. If you guys have any knowledge of why that works like that, or if they just shoot that much higher, let me know in the comments. Now I figured too I'd show you here, turrets cannot track or cannot shoot through ladders. Even though you can see through ladders, you can walk right through a ladder. It doesn't stop you or animals. You can run right through them, walk right through them like they're not even there. Turrets cannot shoot or track through ladders. So just to show you that right here, I figured I'd throw this clip in there just to show you that, in case you wondered. Now something else you'll see a lot, and here's when I test it out. Players will put turrets right on the corner of their base like that. Now does this actually work, you might wonder. I figured I'd show you that here too, since I had this kind of set up. So the player was down bottom, as you see, the enemy player. I turned it on. Now you can't see it, but right there you see the player got killed. You can't see the turret actually track down, but it actually shot the player. So it's dead. So yes, right there, and I will show you this again. Turn it on, turn it off. Now look, the player lost her helmet. Helmet's gone. Turn it on again, and dead. Yes. So yes, they shoot straight down. That is an effective way to set up your turrets. But notice this turret placement here. This turret placement is placed the same way, but slightly pulled back, just slightly. It's still hanging off, as you can see. But in this positioning, the player is completely safe against the wall. As you can see right there, can walk around all down there just fine. And that turret is not pulled back much, just a little bit. So if you're going to do that, make sure you push it to the very corner, like as far as possible. Otherwise, and a lot of players I'll see will position them like this. So you can run right up in there, throw C4, and get away without even getting hit. Or just get hit on the way in. And look how far the player can back away and still be safe. You got plenty of room in there. You can get right up against the building and be fine. So if you're going to put turrets, make sure they're pushed to the very, very corner. And I mean all the way. Now, next thing I was going to test since I was here was, you might wonder, can turrets shoot underwater from above water? So that was my thing here. So I ducked under the water, turned the turret on up top, and then I figured I'd swim around up here in and out of the turret's range and see if it could track and shoot me. And sure enough, as you might have known, or probably if you played Ark a while, you did know, turrets can shoot underwater from above water. That certainly worked. As you can see here, whenever I come up above the ice, the snow there, I get hit. So yes, turrets do shoot under the water, from above the water. They can track and shoot just fine. Now, how about Plant X? So I put a Plant X on the beach, as you saw there. Also put a Plant X on the raft, as you saw there. And then I proceeded to duck under the water again and turn them on. Does Plant X shoot under the water? Yes, it does as well. So in case you wondered about that, now you know as well. From a raft, from the shore, Plant X will shoot underwater from both, as long as they obviously have a line of sight. Same with turrets. They need to have a line of sight, but yes, that will work. Now we need to test the other way. do turrets shoot from underwater and shoot to above water? We know they shoot from underwater to underwater. How about shooting out onto the surface? So I stuck our turret under the raft here, as you can see, and turned it on, and definitely turrets shoot to the surface from underwater. So turrets, water makes no difference in or out. Now the next thing I wanted to really test was part of the comparison between Erie turrets and regular turrets. What is the damage comparison? So I put on a set of primitive flak, and I was going to be shot with turrets. Now notice here, as I get shot by 2 bullets from an Erie turret. There you can see, 2 bullets. It did 30 damage per shot. Now if you need to pause it or back it up and go look at it, you can do that. There was 2 shots with Erie turret. I was trying to get 1, but it goes so quick I was only able to get 2, trying it a couple times. So 2 shots with Erie turret, 1 shot with primitive flak took 30 points of health down. And here you can see how much durability it took down of the flak, if you need to see that as well. So 30 points of health down per shot with Erie turret, primitive flak. Okay, let's compare that in this next clip to a regular auto turret. Same, I'm going to repair the flak and see with 1 shot, 'cause I could put 1 bullet in a regular turret, 1 bullet, and see how much damage 1 shot from auto turret does. Now remember, 30 HP points down with the 1 shot from the Erie. How much down from the auto turret? Okay, there it is. That was 1 shot. Auto turret took down 32 points. So that's hardly any more. 32 points down of HP with the auto turret, 30 points with the Erie turret. So auto turrets are barely stronger, 2 points of HP. So that's only like 3% or something like that. So really, in my opinion, what makes regular auto turrets harder to flak run is probably because they shoot you further. Slightly more damage, so if you have 10 turrets, that will add up a little bit. But mostly, if you're getting hit 4.5 foundations sooner, that's going to add up a lot. So my opinion, that makes them tougher, is the distance. Okay, so just one more thing I want to show you folks. Now, as you can see here, the Ark Wiki says you can put 10 turrets every 16 foundations in Ark Mobile. But that is wrong. I know I've tested it before. So I'm going to show you what it actually is. How close can you put turrets in Ark Mobile? Now, 10 is the limit. As you can see, I have 10 turrets here. If you want to go ahead and count them. There is 10 there. And I can't put any more because, well, that's the max, right? But how far can we put them? So I'm going to show you. So I have 10 all on this one foundation right there. They're all on that one foundation. So we can count from there how far we can put them. So I'm going to do that and show you the distance. Okay, so as you can see, I was able to put 10 more right here. So how far apart are they? Are they 16 foundations apart? No. Let's count from here and see what we have. We'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and a half. So 12 and a half foundations apart. So turrets, you can put the limit of 10 turrets every 12 and a half foundations apart, like this. So that's 12 and a half. So for sure 13 would be right here, and it's actually 12 and a half. So it's not 16, which would be way over here. No, it's 12 and a half between them. Even if you wanted to count that, you could say, 13 and a half to this back side of them, I guess. But still, so 13 and a half foundations apart you could put every 10 turrets. So I hope this video has helped you guys out. I did this some turret testing here. Obviously there's more things that could be tested, but for now, that's where I'm going to be ending this video. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you next time.